Why, hello there everyone, I'm the Kumo Sensei, and welcome back to another random live stream. And I don't usually make live streams unplanned, but I did want to make one today, just to really just talk with everybody, I guess. But I hope everybody's doing well, and man oh man, I really just want to answer some questions because like literally it's, I made a voice acting video basically addressing like the questions I keep asking. What is my workout? Am I single? I've like it's funny, John, but I hope you're doing well though. I do like I'm making this live stream because I want to answer questions people may have, because I have been getting a lot of new viewers and a lot of one-time viewers, I guess. So I do want to answer questions because a lot of them are questions I've already answered, or a lot of them I just haven't gotten around to answer. So that is the reason why I'm making this live stream. I don't know exactly how long this live stream will be. It is unplanned, but I just had to actually make this live stream, John. So everybody who is here today and is watching this is really just a Q&A, I guess, questions and answers live stream. So if you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer it. Anything goes. So if you have a question about me, I will reluctantly answer, because I've been getting so many questions on my comments because I have over 2,000 videos. So all the comments combined is just too many for me to actually keep up with, which is why I'm making this live stream now. So if you have a question about me, or if you want to know something about me, I think now is the best time to actually send in these questions. Technically, there's no stupid question, but there are some questions that are repetitive, but I don't mind answering that again because a lot of my viewers may be new. So that is the reason why I'm making this live stream. So to everybody who is watching this, let us hope for the best, right? But anyhow, though, yes, I am watching season 2 of the Apothecary Diaries, so you don't really need to worry about that. So, it's pretty nice, actually. Can you do a cutesy voice? Oh, I don't know if I can do a cutesy voice. I can do like a really cowardly voice, but I want to say cute voice. That's the reason why I don't want to do it, because like a cute, oh, that's so cute. Oh, like I can't really do a cute voice. I can do a high pitched voice, but I really save my cute voice, quote unquote, or the high pitched voices, more so of just for certain specific type of character ranges that I really want to focus on. I did put in 2 more auditions for things I want to try out for voice acting roles, if you're wondering, but I don't think I'll get the role because there's like 60 other auditions for those roles, I guess. But this is nothing new to me, honestly, getting rejected. It's pretty common when it comes to any sort of acting, stage acting included. So, nothing crazy, John. But I really do hope I can answer a lot of questions that people may have, because there's a lot of questions. Like, when will I show myself working out? And this is probably the most common question, but I don't really record myself at the gym. Like, I really don't. So, like, I'm very respectful in public, so I really just kind of keep to myself. I do record myself at home whenever I train, but in terms of going to the gym, I would prefer if I just kind of just keep it to myself, you know, and not try to be a public nuisance. Sorry, Lucas, to hear about that. Everything is working fine on my end. It's really just your end, honestly, Lucas, if I'm being honest. My internet signal is good. My reception is fine. So I apologize if some people might have a bit of a not so great experience, but I'm pretty sure my stream is working fine on my end though. But really, I'm just here to answer a bunch of questions at this point, because it is a lot, like a lot. Some are more personal than others. Some of them are kind of trivial. So really, like, there is no stupid questions, but I would like to answer any question as of now. Like, I think this is probably the best time to start shooting in questions you may have, because it seems like these questions always come in my videos, but whenever I'm live on stream, a lot of people may miss out. And I'm actually tried to live stream in the morning, afternoon, and night, but due to time zones of where people live, sometimes when I live stream, people may be asleep, or it's too late or too early in the mornings. So really, I've been trying to live stream at different times just to get a better understanding of people's time zones of where most of my viewers are. Hello there, Shadow. Yeah. But I'm just trying, honestly, just to answer as many questions as I can. So to everybody who's watching right now and they have a question, this is why I made this live stream right now. It's really just to answer any question you may have. I don't care if it's like working out, what am I personally doing right now, or things like that. Today is my day off, so I'm not really doing anything crazy. So that's the reason why I'm making this live stream. There is no stupid questions, everybody. So whether you're young, old, or whatnot, questions come and go. So I will answer this, and please don't be intimidated. If you're just a casual viewer, you don't have to actually respond or post the, you don't really need to type in chat, because I don't force people to watch my stuff, nor do I force people to communicate with me. But this is just to those people who do want to communicate, So that is why I'm here. But really, the first question I really do want to answer that I may actually answer again is about my workouts. So I've actually been trying to step back from lifting heavy. So when it comes to progressive overload, I've stopped that like a very long time ago. I train to maintain my physique now. I don't necessarily train to grow bigger, if people understand what I'm saying. Because really, once you grow to a certain size that you're pleased with, you don't really need to do progressive overload anymore, because then you just want to maintain that physique. Maintaining a physique really comes down to dieting. So depending on how many calories you consume a day, and also depend on how much you stimulate your muscles, really that's going to determine how much you maintain your physique. So really, I've been stepping back from a lot of the heavy training, for those who are wondering, and a lot of my training now is really just recreational fitness and basic body weight exercises, to where I don't really need to go to the gym much anymore, if I'm being completely honest. I have not gone to the gym yet this year, because as of now, since it's pretty much a new year, quote unquote, there's a lot of New Year's resolution people who are going to the gym. So the gym is too crowded for me to go to. And I'm actually quite an introvert at heart. So I don't really do that well when it comes to super big crowds. Although I am a stage actor that can perform in front of big crowds, when I'm surrounded by big crowds, I kind of just want to back away a little. So a lot of my training right now is really just at home. I do have like one pair of dumbbells and a bench press and a pull-up bar that you can hang on your door. And that's really all I have currently that I'm working with, combined with cardio. In terms of my dieting, this is the thing that nobody asks about, which is pretty much the biggest thing actually. I know that training and workouts is one thing, but your dieting matters the most. Because if you're not eating properly, or if you're not eating enough, or if you're eating too little, it doesn't really matter how hard you train, because there won't be any progress. So I really just want to say that right now. So in terms of my dieting, I do keep carbs in, because carbs to me, I know that if you're trying to lose weight, maybe cut away from the carbs if you're kind of bloated. But as for me, since I'm pretty much shredded year round, I do keep the carbs in. My go-to carbs that I go to is rice, because I'm Asian. And my go-to protein is always eggs. But some people may do better with chicken, or fish, or beef. Find what works for you and really just kind of go from there. But I really hope that answers a lot of the workout questions, quote unquote. Then again, if new viewers come into this live stream and want to ask about my workouts, I will have to repeat myself, but I don't really mind. I'm just trying to answer the question that everybody's been asking. And my body fat percentage is very low. I'd say around 10 to 12% body fat is my body fat percentage. So I'll be honest, that's not really healthy. Yes, you look shredded, but realistically, low body fat isn't too helpful, especially if you want to be healthy or trying to bulk up. So I don't mind gaining weight as of now. What's your top 3 anime? So, I don't really... My top 3 will always be changing, but the one that will always stay on top, John, without a doubt, is Steins Gate. Steins Gate is my #1 favorite anime. It's very straightforward, because it's a storytelling anime, in my personal opinion. It doesn't have a lot of great animation, quote-unquote, but in terms of storytelling and character development, it's, in my opinion, my #1. But in terms of top 3, I don't really have a top 2 or 3, because that will always be changing. But maybe I'll put ReZero up there, and maybe, I don't really have another one, because I do like ReZero a lot, but other than that, I really don't have a strong top 3 anime of all time. But I am working on making anime essay videos. Right now, I don't have a script, because I don't really do script, but I really am just trying to get an outline of what I want. Hello there, type. How often do you work out a week to maintain? So it depends. I usually go for 2 times minimum, but the usual will be about 3 times a week to maintain. So really, 2 to 3 times a week is just enough. I train with really light weights. So I just train with light weights, but I go maximum reps to the point where my muscles sore out. So that way I can get a full simulation. But that's pretty much how I maintain, though, if you're wondering. Twice a week is the minimum, but usually it's 3 times a week. Sometimes 4 if I'm feeling it late at night. I would do a late night training, which you have seen, which I posted about that actually on my vlogs, late night training. But usually it's only 2 to 3 times a week at this point. Positive doesn't matter say much, to be honest. I prefer to hear what made the anime made the person feel. In terms of anime that makes me feel some type of way, Nexo, I do have a couple actually. It depends, like if you're talking about sad feels, definitely Anohana, the flower we saw that day. Or if you're talking about feel, like it makes you think some type of way, probably something like well, this is more of a manga, not necessarily an anime. The anime was not that good, but Flowers of Evil, the manga that is, it does make me think a lot in terms of feel. But if you're talking about feel as in a coming of age story, probably Yoru Sumino's works. Her light novels are great. Great writer, by the way. But there's a lot of animes I've seen over the past 16 years now, so like I've seen a lot of animes. So depending on what you mean by feel, it may change. Sometimes the feel I want is sadness, other times the feel I want is depression. But it really just comes and goes, honestly, by the term feel. I would say this though, a lot of the sad animes, quote unquote, I feel like the old school animes were much better than what the newer animes are. Like when it comes to newer animes and like the sadness of it, a lot of it comes down to drama, like the drama aspect of anime. And there goes my internet. And it's spiking. Oh wow, my internet is going down pretty bad. There it goes. Now we're back on track. But I'll be honest. I think from 2000 to 2011, that was probably like the sad anime era, if I'm being like honest about the era of sad animes. Any good manhwas? I have not read any manhwas recently. So Shadow, I'm here to apologize about that. I've stepped back away from manhwas because I can't. Okay, I don't want to say I hate manhwas, but a lot of manhwas are kind of frustrating at this point because I feel like it's not that I feel like I know a lot of manhwas nowadays have it has problems with either storytelling or power scaling. And as much as I like solo leveling and as much as I like a bunch of manhwas, I will not lie. I feel like a lot of people are trying to capitalize on the overpowered main character trope in manhwas right now. So I'm really just trying to avoid manhwas that are trying to do, you know, the overpowered main characters. So right now, I'm still I don't want to say I'm looking for a good manhwa, but I'm thinking about looking for a manhwa series that has good storytelling. By the way, if you enjoyed this live stream, by all means feel free to leave a like. It doesn't really hurt, but I just want people to understand my thoughts and my feelings. Helper is a great manhwa. If it's not like a power scaling manhwa, then I'll definitely check it out. So, okay, it's not a power. Okay, I'll check it out. If Helper is not a power fantasy, then I would definitely go check it out. I love manhwas a lot, but I will not lie and say that manhwas to me feels a bit. I don't want to say it's overdone, but it's getting harder and harder to create original stories. People always complain to me that, manhwas have bad art direction or art styles. That's not the problem with manhwas. I can read anything. It doesn't even need to have great art. It just needs to have a story that's convincing. Like, if it's a good story, it's a good story, period. So, like, I feel like a lot of people nowadays are too drawn in by how things look and not by how things are at its core here. So, if you find something that has a really good story, it's a good story regardless, if you catch on what I'm saying here. So, to anybody who wants to recommend something to me, if it's good as a story, I would definitely recommend it. Hello there, Zero. So, manhwa is essentially is this Korean manga. So anytime you see a Korean manga, they call it manhwa. The reason why is because in Korea, the pronunciation for manga is more as manhwa. So, manhwa is essentially a Korean manga, if you didn't know that. And as for, if it's a Chinese manga, you will call it a donghua. So, it's just like a country of difference thing for those who don't understand what a manhwa is. So, yeah. By the way, donghua has a lot of great animation styles, but this might be a hot take, but has anyone else noticed that a lot of donghwas and a lot of manhwas are recently using a bit of AI in their art styles? Maybe I could be wrong, but I'm starting to notice like subtleties. I don't know. But anyhow, though, if anybody has any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be anime related. It could be anything related, me, my business, things like that. I'm willing to answer those questions, which is why I made this live stream. So, if anybody has anything they want to ask, I think now is a good time, because that is what this live stream is for. And just a heads up, right now it is kind of snowing a little bit. The weather is not so great, so the power may go out. So if it does, then I'll just do another live stream once the power comes back on. But anyhow, though, questions, by all means, feel free to leave any question you may have. You don't need to be shy, because I'm just a regular person. Hello, Jitesh. My life has been interesting right now. I am currently so for those who are wondering, Jitesh, welcome back. It's been a while. No, it's fine. So I am currently in the process of starting a new, I don't want to say starting a new life, but starting a new page or a new book in my life. I just need to go to therapy just to confirm something, but I'm pretty sure my gut feeling is right. And if it is right, it's not a bad thing, by the way, this feeling, which is why I'm going back to therapy for one session only. But I think it's time I start a new book in my life. I'm not quitting YouTube by any means, nor am I quitting everything I'm doing now. I'm not. But this is the reason why I'm making my short commentary film. It's because I want to tell my life story in a way, why I am here now and things leading up to it. Now, it's not going to be the full picture, but it's going to give you a general understanding. And then I'm going to make more commentary videos discussing about myself, so that way people can get more context as time goes on about who I am as a person. But I am going to go back to therapy for one more time, or maybe two more times, because I have to confirm something. And if I do confirm to myself that it is true, then I am going to officially start a new book in my life. And this is not a bad thing, by the way, because I will explain it, because right now I am in the process of trying to record some scenery footage just for myself. So that way I can have some footage to show while I talk about my personal life and who I am as a person. Because a lot of people for the longest time have been asking, why have I started my career when I was young? Why have I been doing this for so long? Such as training for 9 years, dancing for 9 years, becoming a dance teacher. Why am I chasing these dreams for so long? And what is the next goal? This whole commentary film that I'm making comes from my stage acting background, sort of. When it comes to understanding direction, because I really got to tell this story. And this story is really just my story, but it's not going to be the full picture. It's just going to be a memoir, basically. But it's really just going to be me talking in that commentary film, but it will give you insight for anyone who is wondering about who I am as a person and where I'm going. But this feeling, it's a very pleasant feeling, honestly. It's not that I'm letting go, it's more of finally accepting, like accomplishing something. And honestly, it makes me very kind of sad, but in a good way though. This is why one of my goals is to actually start my new life by 1, trying to move out, 2, starting another business, a second business for myself, and 3, trying to find a partner. Have I ever cried watching anime? Only one anime has ever made me cry, which is kind of funny, and that anime was Anohana, the flower we saw that day. But then again, I was very young when that anime came out. I think it was already a year or 2 years already when that anime came out when I watched it, but I cried. Watching Anohana, the flower we saw that day. I was very young, John. I was very young. But I'm much older now, and the impact's still the same, but it doesn't affect me as a grown-up, because I can bear it much better. But that film is currently in the works. I just need to figure out whether I want to record more first or record all of the audio. One of the two. But when it comes out, it will close one book and open another. And this is not goodbye to anime or to this channel or to anything like that, but it's more so of me coming to grips with my life. And I really don't know what is next, but I want to find something to do. So this is the reason why I want to start another business. Like, I want to open a new book in my life, because I've kept my promise, and it took a very long time to keep that promise, but I kept it. So now it's really just trying to find new goals to set in life now. Now that I don't want to say free, but more so of I've kept my promise. Yes, it took around 12 years, which is a very long time, but I am proud of the person I've become. Yes, there are flaws. Yes, I'm not perfect by any means, but I will explain it once my short self-commentary film comes out, just talking about myself. But I'm super proud of everybody. You guys are awesome. Literally. Even though some of you may be new, or even if you're a long-time viewer, like John, Marco, Chitesh. How do I deal with failure? Honestly, you just kind of had to keep on moving. Just keep on going. Because to succeed in life, you're going to need experience. but sometimes that experience only comes from learning how to fail. So it's not really a big deal. It's not really a big deal if you're failing in life, because as long as you keep going, there's always a chance to come back out of it. Benji, the containers in the background. So all of these containers behind me is actually my spiders, because I own a spider business. So my spider business is called Laxo Legacy, and I sell, breed, and produce tarantulas in captivity, and I sell them. And that's currently my first business. And right now, I'm trying to figure out what is my second business that I want to pursue. Yes, I know I own a business, but I want to start another one. I don't know exactly what that second business will be, but the more businesses, the better. As long as I enjoy it, that is. But I hope that answers your question, though. And as of now, a lot of my orders for my business has been on hold because this weather has been really bad lately. So I'm just gonna, wait it out. You'll get used to it because I sleep beside my work all the time. So like, a lot of people find it kind of crazy that I literally sleep where I work. So it's not that bad, honestly. It's fine, I guess. It is a good passive income, though, this business of mine. I make around $200 to $700 as passive income per month just selling spiders. So if you're looking for a passive income, I guess find something that works for you and just try to make an earning out of it, But really, though, I currently also work at a grocery store job, and that job is kind of awkward right now, but yeah. I do plan on trying to move out this year if I can. No promises that will happen, but that is one of my goals too. I want to move out to a small apartment and just kind of start over in my life. Easier said than done, I know, but it's kind of scary. My heart beats a lot when I think about that, but I know it's time for me to actually start over or start anew. So I have a lot of goals. So voice acting is one, moving out is another, and then I do want to find a girlfriend. Find a partner for me, that is. I've been on a couple of dates already, but I haven't found the one. I'm not super picky, by the way, but I do have some things I'm looking for. One is communication. I think the biggest thing about getting into a relationship is that you need to actually figure yourself out. So if you have issues with yourself or like problems that you're stuck with, sometimes a partner can help you, but a lot of the times when you're dating, anything negative will be brought to life and it can affect your partner. So if you have a lot of like debt or a lot of negative things about you, you kind of need to get it figured out. And luckily for me, the reason why I'm trying to start dating again is because I think this kind of ties back to what I mentioned earlier. I want to start a new book in my life. I've kept my promise and I fulfilled basically all the goals I set out, which is why I feel like it's now time for me to open myself up, because like it's not really something I'm insecure about anymore. It's strange to say that, but I feel relieved. So like my personal issues and things like that, like is not as bad. So like yeah, sorry Marco, I know I'm live kind of late, but so that's the reason why I want to date again though. It's because I don't have strong like problems with myself anymore. Yes, I'm not perfect. I still have some flaws here and there and some issues now and then, but I don't have like the same insecurities and the things that I had back then. But yeah, finding a partner is one of my goals for 2025. I don't know if it'll happen for this year. If it does, that's a good thing. If not, then I'm not too crazy in a hurry. But I do want to find a partner that can communicate, because I feel like communication is key when it comes to finding a partner. Sorry, Marco. I've had Miku in the back for about 30 days now. So, yeah. Ever since Christmas, Marco, Miku has always been in the background. So for those who are wondering, the Mikus behind me, the Sakura Miku and the regular Miku behind me, those were a gift that I got from my sister, by the way. So my sister, well, she went out of her way and got me a gift. Which it was one of those Mikus and some of the anime pins that I have, such as this one here. Hold up. So, this is a Demon Slayer pin that I've gotten from my sister for Christmas. I also got a Jujutsu Kaisen one too. But for those who are wondering. But those are the gifts I got for Christmas from my sister. My sister knows I like anime a lot, and I'm a big sucker for pins, by the way, too. So, for those who are wondering. But, yeah. One of my goals is to move out, voice acting, and finding a girlfriend. You may be wondering, when did I start thinking about starting a life over again? And the answer is simple. 2023. So, 2023 was really just... something happened in 2023 to where, like... it kind of made me think. I would like to have a sister like that. Yeah, I don't want to say my whole family watches anime, but a portion of my family watches anime. So I say about half of my family watches anime, such as my in-laws, you know, some of my siblings, my older and younger siblings watch anime. Not as much as I do though, but about the same amount actually. For those who are wondering, I have a lot of siblings, by the way. But, yeah, I don't... they're just... you need to respect her for that. Yeah, I do respect her, actually. Yeah, my sister, she's pretty chill. Well, MH, if you gotta go to bed, gotta go to bed. I don't force anybody to watch my live streams or my videos. So if you can't watch it, that's fine. Because whether you have work, bed, exams, or tests, or whatever, university, by all means, feel free to leave. I don't really want to force people to watch my live streams. Because this live stream here today was really just to be made just to answer any questions people may have. Because a lot of my viewers are recently new. So this live stream here is really just to answer people's questions. So if anybody has any questions, I think now is a good time to hit it. Like, because like I still get questions in my comments from older videos. But this is the time, because this is essentially why I made this stream. It's just to answer questions. There are no stupid questions. So if you have a question, by all means feel free to yeah, leave a question. I will try to answer a lot of them. Because I've already answered about the workout one, which everybody keeps asking about. I answer some anime questions. It doesn't have to be anime or workout related, anything in general. So, yeah, that's why I am here, the Kumo Sensei. Because now I feel, once I go to therapy to confirm something, I'm pretty sure I'm free, like, to talk about whatever at this point. Do you think Monogatari will have another season? Yes, it will. Monogatari is too popular of a literature work for it to be cancelled, like, or stop having anime seasons. And I've always said this before, but Monogatari is written in a way to where it's like, it's mystery, supernatural, a bit lewd, but also has interesting storytelling and literature play in Japanese literature. You know, don't think of Monogatari as a manga, think of the light novel. That's the reason why there is animes coming. So I really do think that Monogatari will get another season, period. You can't deny that. Unless they stop writing Monogatari series, I just don't see it. Because people say Kizu Monogatari was the last of the light novel series, and lo and behold, we have a bunch of spin-offs and a bunch of one-offs now. And those got anime adaptations. So, of course, there is more coming, in my personal opinion. Technique or strength? Technique. Period. I don't think strength does matter, but technique really goes further. Everybody's strength will be different. So I think the one thing everybody can perfect on is technique, because I feel like if you're trying to prove strength, there is a time to do a new public best or a new PR, a public record or whatever, personal record. But really, I'm a technique guy, not necessarily strength. People think I still look like, people look at my physique on my most my most recent video called Kumo Sensei Still in Shape. Some people are still thinking that I lift heavy. I don't. I have not lifted heavy in a long time. Right now, I just train for health and recreational fitness now, because I have stepped back from stage acting. I'm still going to try to audition for a stage play every now and then, but as of like retirement, I'm kind of in like a soft spot. Is there any rule that first come novel, then anime, or can anime get first without novel? Honestly, Marco, novels usually have to come first, because if not, then it will become an anime original. And anything that's anime original that is adapted from a light novel source would not be canon, unless they make it canon. So I really just don't see that happening. For me, it has to, the way I see it is that light novels or the original source has to come first and then the anime. Because you will end up in a situation like Full Metal Alchemist, which is why we got Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Because for those who don't know, Full Metal Alchemist is a great example of what Marco is trying to state here. So the anime caught up to the manga. The manga had no more chapters at the time because it was still being written. And then they decided to make an anime original, which is what you got from Full Metal Alchemist. And then when the manga fully finished, they basically remade Full Metal Alchemist to adapt from the manga, which is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is the original true canon, like canon anime. So I hope that answers your question, Marco, but like manga for anime, anime for manga. So like you really can't make anime originals. The same thing happened with Kill la Kill. Not Kill la Kill, but Akame ga Kill, my bad. Akame ga Kill is a great example as well. By the way, for those who are, a lot of people tell me that Akame ga Kill's anime is bad. It is bad, but the manga is better. And the manga is canon, not the anime's ending for Akame ga Kill. So Takumi does live. Him and Mine gets married, and they have 3 kids. Stated on a text bubble, but Takumi becomes a dragon though, because his Tengu develops him, which is pretty interesting. I don't really get it, but spoiler alert for Akame ga Kill, which is what people consider to be one of the worst anime adaptations of all time. But I can go on and on talking about anime adaptations. Really? Yep, Shadow, that really happens. So the difference between the anime of Akame ga Kill and the manga is this. At the end, basically, Takumi, his Tengu fully envelops him. And what ends up happening is that his body morphs into a dragon because of his Tengu. But he does live, and Mine does live as well. And what ended up happening is that despite Takumi becoming a dragon, Mine still loves him. And they end up getting married. So Mine marries Takumi as a dragon, and they have 3 kids, stated in the text bubble, I believe. And then his village gets money, so now their village is saved, so they're not in poverty anymore. And yeah, the manga is not a perfect ending by any means. The manga is still kind of not great, but if you compare it to the anime, it is much better than the anime. And the manga is the canon ending, by the way. It's the true ending, essentially, not the anime. See, okay, Marco, you're mentioning Evangelion. Which one we're talking here? 1.0, 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0? My problem with Evangelion that kind of nicks at me all the time is the fact that Evangelion has so many different remake interpretations, to where every single 0.0 or every single remake of Evangelion, it slightly changes characters' motivations, and it kind of changes the show entirely. I don't want to, like, I always make fun of Evangelion and what that meme. Congratulations. But really, though, if you never watch Evangelion, note that whichever version you watch of Evangelion will definitely be different from the next interpretation adaptation. And it's really because they keep changing. I don't want to say they change it a lot, but they change it in ways to where it just makes me so confused. No offense to 3.0, just saying. Or 3.1, was it? I don't remember. But this is the reason why I don't really like Evangelion. I don't hate it, don't take it that way, but it's very frustrating to watch. Like, I watched 2.0, then I watched 3.0, and then 3.1, and every time I watch, like, I don't want to say it's a remake, it's more like a reimagining of Evangelion. It just makes me think, like, dang, is like, are these, like character motivations becomes, I don't want to say it becomes more understandable, but it makes me think, like, what are these people doing? it can be frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't hate Evangelion though. I just think it's more confusing or frustrating. I'm somewhere in the middle. I just can't put my finger on it. But for those who have seen Evangelion, especially the congratulations scenes, you'll understand what I mean. I don't care if you watch the 90s version, the 2006 one, the 2013 one, or the most recent one. Like, it just makes you think. Top OST in your anime. Okay, funny thing. When it comes to OSTs in anime, there's no specific animes that has like top tier OSTs all the way through and through. But I will do this though. I will talk about my favorite anime OSTs. So here we go. So, one of my favorites is from Boarding School Juliet. The OST is called I Will Change This World. That's one of them. Another one is Glassy Sky from Tokyo Ghoul. Hiroyuki Sawano, any of his works, whether it's 86, Ad Noah 0, all his OSTs are really good, especially in Recreators. Dr. Stone has good OSTs, without a doubt. Another anime with good OSTs that I personally like is Isabella's theme from The Promised Neverland or Season 1. Love that OST, by the way. What other OSTs do I like? I have a lot actually that I do like, but those are some of the few. Have I watched Steins Gate? Steins Gate is my favorite anime of all time, period. Ishan. I'm a big fan of time-traveling animes, or time-traveling concepts. It doesn't just have to be animes. It could be light novels, mangas, or visual novels. If it's time-traveling, I'm in it. Are you watching the new season of Solo Leveling? Yes. So Stefan, when it comes to Solo Leveling, it's a great series, but I feel like the ending of like the most recent season in the manga, for those who have read it, you kind of have people, will make people a bit conflicted in some sort of way or fashion. No, like, I still do think that A1 Pictures, the anime studio behind Solo Leveling, they went all out. So I'm not disappointed at all. But I'm really so curious because they basically announced like more seasons of Solo Leveling after season 2. So I have a lot of expectations. They did change some scenes around actually from the original source material, the manga. So like, it's not a bad thing, but it's more anime. It's more anime flavored from the original source. It's not a bad thing though, but I just hope they don't change too much, because when it's one change, it's not that bad. But if they change too much, it can become quite a problem, you know? Maho Tsukai no Yome. Yo, okay. Yes. Those are actually really good OSTs. So Maho Tsukai no Yome, I still do think is underrated. I think people should watch it. No, like, I know people always mention Ufotable as one. That's one thing you need to watch for sure. Dorohedoro has awesome OST. The OST is okay. The OST is not for me personally, but I do get it though. Solo leveling ending is like whoosh, newly ordered. Okay. This is okay. This is kind of this is not a hot take. I think this is pretty obvious. I do think that Jinwoo, he is a really strong character, but in terms of character development, Jinwoo does not have a lot to work with because he's so strong to where like the plot tells itself, but he doesn't really do much of the plot. If you understand what I'm saying here. I feel like his character, like in solo leveling, even though he does have his moments, he's more like an anime character that has moments, and really he's just there to pretty much do beatdowns. But in terms of character development, there's not much of it. So I really want to see more character development from Jinwoo. I don't hate Jinwoo, but he is kind of... this is kind of a hot take. I do think he's kind of stale. He... like... You know, somebody made a good comparison. He really gives me the same vibes as Tatsuya Shiba from the Irregular at the Magic High School. He's just really overpowered, and he's there because the plot is convenient for him. But I really gotta see what more he does. Because I am not caught up with the manhwa, by the way, for those who are wondering for solo leveling. But let us continue, though. Monogatari have good OST. Depends on which OST we're talking about here. I don't know who's the director for the music OSTs for Monogatari, but there's the songs are catchy though. But I wouldn't. See, Monogatari more has like catchy tones. I don't want to say it's like the OSTs I'll listen to and vibe with, Marco, if I'm being honest. But I can see the appeal though. It's just not what I would put into my OSTs that I will casually listen to. If you catch what I'm saying here. Ikakaiso. That song is overdone. I don't hate that song, but man, is it overdone a lot. Jinwoo is edgy, corny teenager. I actually agree with that. And I'm not trying to hate on anybody who likes Jinwoo, but Jinwoo is not the type of character that I like. Because I feel like he's literally what I would consider a plot device. Or you know, Deus Ex Machina, if you want to put it that way. Don't hate Jinwoo at all, but he's not my type of character that I would like. Like, the characters I like nowadays is not necessarily strong or powerful characters, but rather characters that go through actual character arcs. Because that's real character development. I don't think making a character stronger is character development. Unless it's earned. Like, when I say earned, it must not be from plot convenience. I feel like people think that like characters earn their powers, but in reality, I feel like the writers, when they were writing series, they just made it convenient for them to get stronger, to defeat this character, that character, or to overcome something. I'm not a big fan of that type of writing. I like writing that really defines what a character is. You don't really get that anymore, which is one of the big problems with modern series. Eren and Thorfinn had the best character developments. I can see that. I agree with that, actually. I actually do agree with that. Thorfinn is a great example. Eren is a good example too, but I think Thorfinn is the stronger example. Like Thorfinn is kind of strong, but he mellows out later on in the series. But he becomes that is a true character now that I think about it, which is very surprising. I really do think Thorfinn is a great example of great character development and writing. But you know, it's funny. Everybody here is talking about anime, but I made this live stream to really just talk about questions and answers. You know, answering people's questions and things like that. So if you just, you know, hopped in, any question you have, by all means, feel free to ask about it. It doesn't have to be anime related if you're new to this live stream. So workouts, personal life, things like that. If you have a personal question you want to ask me, it doesn't hurt. So, yeah. But anyhow, though, questions, I'll answer. But in terms of character development, though, coming back into it, very rare nowadays for series to have good character development. Because a lot of animes nowadays is more towards like favoring, things. How did you get into the spider business? So I stated this story before. So I actually wanted to do something with animals. I wanted a pet scorpion, but it didn't work out. And at the time, my parents didn't allow dogs or cats. So I ended up with spiders because one of my senior high school buddies had a pet tarantula. And that really just got me into the tarantula stuff. And I've been doing spider work for about over a decade now. I'm 20. So Ishan, I've answered this question, but I'll answer it again. I am not Japanese, by the way. I live in America, born and raised in America, and I'm 24 years old. Do I speak Japanese as well? Yes, I do, but very poorly. I speak very poor Japanase. Do you know Vinland Saga has English choosing and dub? One dub in text and other dub in LA. So, funny thing about English dub for Vinland Saga, I'm a big fan of some of the English voice cast that voices the Vinland Saga. I don't know who I forgot who the producers are, but they did a really good job with Vinland Saga's English dub, though. I give them credit. So for those who are wondering, and for those who don't know, when it comes to like voice acting in general, because I'm getting into voice acting, the producers are the ones who basically goes through and picks their voice actors. This doesn't include just English dub, but pretty much every dub in general. Whether it's Japanese dub, Chinese dub, Korean dub, French dub, producers are the one who chooses their voice actors. Not necessarily the anime studio themselves. Mog's like, hell yeah. Dubs mostly sucks of animes. I prefer to watch the original language. That is kind of true, but dubs have gotten better. I will admit, dubs have gotten a lot better. Because, like, it's gotten... The standards of voice acting and acting talent have gone up dramatically. I would even go as far as to say that some dubs, not just for English dubs, but like any dub in general, are on par, if not better, than the original Japanese dub. I can't give you some examples, but like we already went down that rabbit hole already. But I still do think that Japanese dubs is pretty authentic though, to my heart. So yeah. What anime moment gives you the warm fuzzies? Everything in Fruits Baskets. Fruits Baskets is one of my favorite melodrama animes of all time. It's actually one of my favorite coming-of-age stories of all time for anime. Like, I still do relate to a lot of the anime characters in Fruits Baskets, and it always gives me a tingly feeling. Isn't AI a problem to the voice actors? Yes. Sadly, it is. And I've seen some people try to do AI voices with my voice, which is pretty interesting, but I hope nobody tries that. Marco, I have not watched those series yet. There's a lot of old series I have not seen yet, and those two I'm not familiar with, Marco, if I'm being honest. Favorite Shinkai film? So, this is kind of interesting. Makoto Shinkai, his films are good, but I feel like at a certain point, it becomes very easy to kind of predict what happens. I think Kimi no Nawa is probably up there, along with Centimeters Apart and things like that. His newer works, they're good, but I prefer like Kimi no Nawa and those type of works that he's basically done. Have you watched Re:Zero? Yes, I have. I've watched Re:Zero, and I actually used to read the web novels, and the light novels, and the manga. I was that big of a fan of Re:Zero. I remember the day, the the anime teaser came out too in 2015 when they announced it. It was Kadokawa Dengeki Bunko Festival 2015, I believe. And they did release the first PV. I actually saved that PV on an old zip drive somewhere. And I still have the OST in my head, actually. I knew ReZero was going to be something special. Period. And the anime came out in 2016, for those who are wondering, if you didn't know. It came out in spring 2016. I watched it when it came out, so very familiar with ReZero. One of my favorite series up there, along with Steins Gate. It's not number one, though. Steins Gate is still number one, but really like ReZero a lot. It's funny because by now, I actually thought ReZero will finish up already. Yeah, the Priscilla scenes. Okay, so Priscilla, I'm not a big fan of like fan service scenes, but at least it's not censored, you know? Not a big fan of censorship. So I take it for what it is for Arc 5. So I'm not disappointed at all. Even though like I'm not the biggest fan of fan service, at least it's not censored, if you understand what I'm saying. But I do love ReZero a lot. By the way, ReZero came out when I was 15. The first season of ReZero. I was 15 years old when the first season came out. I am now 24. So this is one of the reasons why I kind of slowed down on ReZero a lot. It's because time. Like I've grown much older. I don't have like the free time as I used to. Nor do I have the same online buddies. I don't really have the same. I'm not in the same group as I once was back then, essentially. Fanservice can ruin that. Fire Force is the prime example. Okay, hold up. I'm going to answer both these questions real quick. Let's start with Marco. From this season, I am watching the Apothecary Diary Season 2. And I am watching, My Happy Marriage Season 2. And my Netflix subscription fee has gone up. Because they increased the subscription fees. Which is driving me nuts, by the way. But I'm willing to pay to watch that, baby. Everything else, I'm not going to watch yet. I'm just going to binge watch it whenever it wraps up or gets close to the end of the season. But those are the only two I'm sticking with right now. So, okay, let's talk about Fire Force, for example. I think Fire Force has one of the best manga endings of recent times. Because it ties into Soul Eater. And it pretty much leaves no plot holes. Characters pretty much wrap up beautifully. Or wrap up in a way to where it's understandable. And I actually think Fire Force is a really good manga. If you're a fan of Soul Eater. If you have not watched Soul Eater yet, or have not read Soul Eater, then Fire Force's ending for the manga may confuse you, or it may not be for you, but for me personally, since I've watched Soul Eater, shout out to Kid Bob. I think Kid is pretty cool, but still though, Fire Force, really good series. Any shows you like other than anime? I've watched things here and there, but it depends on what you mean by show. Like, you're talking about like Invincible, or like, you know, things like that. Yeah, I have seen some things here and there. But I don't really watch shows too often. But we'll just kind of wait and see, though. Yes, John, I'm super excited for Fire Force's final season. I know exactly what happens, and I know it's gonna... Fire Force is something that is made for fans. It's not made for people who are trying to find like a one-of-a-kind series. Are you good in academics? Yes, I'm very good at academics. I actually graduated with honors in college, which is this cord here. So during my college graduation, I was given this cord here, which goes out to honor students. So for those who don't know, I took honor courses, basically very smart classes for the smart people, and basically you need to maintain a overall class score of 90 or higher to get one of these. So this is just to show you that you graduated with a really high grade in your overall classes. And you have to remember, in college, the exams for my college was 65% of your grade. So like there's your homework, essays, and things like that, your thesis, and then your exams was 65% of your overall grade. So if you bombed your exam, your grade dropped down really badly. So I graduated with a grade of 90 or higher in all my classes, which is why I graduated with this here. This is my honors cord, by the way. You only get this once you graduate college with honors. Basically, with grades higher than 90 in all of your classes. So I was a relatively smart person in school, but I was more of lazy smart. I know there are a lot of students who are cramming and struggling to get good grades, especially on entrance exams and things like that. But for me personally, I was naturally, I don't want to say I was gifted, but I was already kind of smart. But I was really lazy too in college. I will not lie. During my college years, I was doing a lot, but I also wanted to have time to myself. So I kind of did a bunch of things. Yeah, Triv, no problem. Glad that you like the motivation. Do you think Mashal, Divine Vision Exam, RT2, or Animus? It depends. I do believe that it is going to be a season 2, because I do like Mashal a lot. I think Mashal is overlooked without a doubt, John. But excuse myself. But a lot of people, one of the big problems about Mashal is that people compare it to like One Punch Man in a way, but it's really its own thing. I like it a lot. Oh no, they compared to Black Clover, my bad. But I do like Mashal a lot though. I think it's an overlooked anime series because people, you know, people look at things too differently nowadays. Yeah, Mog, no problem. Thanks for the congratulations. Pigeon, yeah, I'm still going. Still pushing on. And yeah, it's not really anything crazy. But just to clarify though, everybody, I was smart. I studied 5 languages, don't forget that. English, Japanese, French, Portuguese, and then Hmong. I studied 5 languages during my college years, and that was only for half a semester during a online international exchange program. So, like, I'm pretty smart, but I choose to just kind of hold back. So I act like an idiot all the time. People think I am like this big anime fan that is really dumb in school. I was very smart in school to the point where I didn't really need to study. I think one great example was that my grade was so high in class that I was given free permission by my professor to sleep in class because my grade was that high. Like, it's not that hard. Hoodie, so all these containers behind me are my spiders. I own a business that works around selling, breeding, and owning spiders, lacks a legacy. And right now, I am thinking about starting a second business. I don't know what it will be, but yeah, all these containers behind me are spiders for my spider business that I'm working on. Laxo Legacy LLC. Hope that answers your question. But yeah. Love for Norway. That's great to hear, Pigeon. I hope you're doing well, though. I hope everybody here is doing well. But in terms of school, school is not hard. It's just the person. Some people are better at learning this way than others. So my advice for college, or if you're trying to get into a university, is you need to find a way that makes you want to learn. So, like for me, what I did was really, this is kind of funny. I really just imagined everything as like a game and like an RPG or like a Final Fantasy game of like doing stuff, and then everything just clicks. Yeah, next up, you gotta go, you gotta go. Huh, got my stomach turned. You're funny, Hoodie, but I understand the fear though. Hey, dozo yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Oyasumi nasai. Hello there, Leonardo. Yeah, Leo, if you got a question, go ahead and ask. This is the reason why I made this live stream, is to answer questions. There are no stupid questions, so by all means, feel free to ask. This live stream is this is the whole point of this live stream, is because I have a lot of new viewers and I just want to answer your questions. So, like, I'm trying my best to answer as many questions as I can because I am in the process of making a short commentary film of myself, so that way you can understand who I am as a person and why some people see me as like an over successor or an overdo it. Well, don't get too crazy, Leo, when I say no bad questions, but really I'm just here to answer a bunch of things for everyone here. But it's pretty interesting though, honestly, that like some questions are new that I never answered before, and some questions are like questions I've answered in the past already. But it's really nice answering a bunch of questions though. And yes, everybody, I'm still working on that short film, but it will come out soon. Do you use weights when I work out? Yes, I do. I have a pair of 4.4 kilo dumbbells or 10-pound dumbbells, and I also have a bench press. And I do have a pull-up bar that I use as well for home. So, combined with bodyweight exercises. And I do a bit of calisthenics, but not as often anymore. Just a little bit of calisthenics every now and then. Because, like, I try not to... So, my joints are not bad, but I don't want to overwork my joints, especially when it comes to calisthenics. So, I've actually stepped back from it. So, really, I do a lot of, like, pull-up bar exercises and things like that. But I try not to go crazy. So, really... Dude... Have a good life and hope you're successful. My motto is kind of strange though. Did you get any new spiders? No, I cannot. So Marco, I have not ordered any new spiders for my inventory, and the reason why is because right now the winter weather is so bad. I'm currently holding everybody's orders that bought spiders from me until the weather gets better, to where I can then ship out those spiders. So right now, a lot of inventory that I've sold have not been shipped out yet to the customers because I'm holding it for like future better weather. But once I move them out, I will actually start ordering new inventory, or new spiders, that is. But it's strange though. I don't really need to work out as much because right now I'm more of maintaining my physique. Not trying to get any bigger than what I am. I am still trying to gain body fat back, but like I'm not trying to go crazy though. But I hope if anyone has questions, by all means feel free to answer or leave a question so I can answer. If you don't have a question, that's fine as well. Because this live stream really it's just me trying to answer everybody's questions here. Because there's a lot of new viewers. So it doesn't really hurt to ask questions, I guess. Because you have to remember, I have over 2,000 videos. And sometimes I get comments that are posted recently from a video that was posted like 3 years ago. So I may not see your comment because it's that old, you know. What is one quote I live by? That is very simple. One quote I always live by is that don't focus on one person's successes, but focus on everybody's failures. And this might not make sense, but the reason why I live by this quote is because everybody keeps asking that one successful person, how do I make it? But nobody is asking everybody who has failed, like, what issues did you run into? Why did you fail? Why did you give up? If you learn their problems and situations that they ran into, you will be able to be more prepared for things that come your way whenever bad things happen. Because, like, for every one person that succeed, a million more people will fail. So, like, one thing, I learned this from a homeless person, by the way, which is why it always puts me on track. So every time when I meet somebody who's successful or has something going on that shows signs of success, I will always ask, like, where did you struggle? Where did you fail? Because, like, if you, like, I don't really care about the success because really you got to learn, like, the scenarios where it's at its worst to prepare yourself for that situation if it ever comes your way. So that way, when failure or situations that could lead to failure comes your way, you as a person would have already learned that mistake that somebody else had made, and you will be prepared for it. So I never really lived my life on focusing on like what people did to succeed. Instead, I look at everybody else who has failed and try to understand why they given up or why they failed. I'm not saying these people are failures. I'm just saying that like you can learn something from everybody. Success is only one side of the coin. You have to flip it over to see the other side, which is the failures. Success comes from experience, but sometimes that experience can only come from the failures. So it's like it comes full circle, you know? How much do I train legs every day when I'm dancing? Dancing is the greatest leg workout of all time, if you're wondering. But I do squats sometimes as well, and I do use use squats using weights from my bench press. So I don't really go heavy when it comes to squatting. My back is not that great. But yeah, that's how I train legs. I dance a lot, and I do squats and some leg workouts. You need to make a podcast. You have an amazing view on the world. I don't have an amazing view on the world, but the thing is that if you want to understand life better and understand things better, you need to jump out of your circle and jump out of your comfort zone, because everybody you'll meet will come from a different place. Sometimes you may not agree with how they live or what they do, but that's not the point. Your point of meeting other people is to understand why it is the way they are, where they come from, and just really try to, instead of like fighting back the way they live or not agreeing, understand why they are the way they are. Because like everybody in this chat, or everybody who's watching this or whatever, all of our lives are very different. Yes, we do have some similarities at some points here and there, but we are all different people. So my situation could be a bigger problem to me than it is to you, if you understand what I'm saying. Because you could be more prepared than I am in this situation in comparison to somebody else. So it's really hard for me to actually hate people, because for me, I really just want to learn from people, you know? And trust me, I know that people always tell you to build a big circle or build a good circle to hang around with. That is true. But if you're hanging around a circle with like-minded individuals or people who think just like you, your perception of things is going to be very small in comparison to someone who has gone out and, meet different types of cultures, people, ethnicities, and things like that. Do you just do pistol squats or dragonflies? And just do pistol squats and you'll get good legs. Now, you gotta do a bit more than that, Marco. But anything works as long as you can get the legs stimulated, that is. But, I don't know how to explain myself. I jumped into a lot of different circles, put it that way. Not because I want to join those circles, it's more so I just want to understand those circles. Be open-minded, I think is the best way to put it, if I'm being, just straightforward, that is. A lot of people may not agree with me, and that's fine. I don't hate people for that, But, a lot of my viewers are relatively young, but it doesn't mean you can do a lot still, though. Sometimes the only way to get experience is to go outside. And I've been outside a lot, because I've done the work, which is the crazy part. And always, small circle is the best, to be honest. It depends on what your circle is. I think having a small, tight circle is a good thing, but if you're trying to reach out to the world, you may need a bigger circle, or you may need to understand other types of circles. But I'm not here to judge you, though, so like, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. If you do agree with me to some extent, that's also fine. Because my life and your life is completely different, you know? So, like, I don't, like, it makes no sense for me to argue my point. Because, like, or argue this point or that point, you know? Everybody's just different. But I've always tried to understand other people. I don't really try to argue with other people because that's not really a good thing, nor is it a good way to learn. Because then it comes out as bias. But everything is biased to an extent anyways. I have a good leg. You can squat 130 kg but still struggle with pistol squat. My back is not good for training, I'll tell you that, Marco. That's the reason why I don't I don't squat heavy, is because for those who are new to my channel, one of my biggest weaknesses in terms of working out is my back. Like, even if I do have a squatting belt on, like, I can't squat heavy. So I try not to overdo it when it comes to, like, back workouts. Small circle is good for you, but friends other people know you're different and you learn more. Yeah, that's true. But luckily, see, I've been blessed. I live in America where, like, everything here is so diverse. Like, I've let's just say, like, even during my college years, when I was in that the international exchange online program for half a semester, I learned a lot. You know, you can learn a lot too. You just kind of need to go out or find a way to reach out more, you know? And I know a lot of my viewers are relatively young. I say either around 16 to 20, early 20s. So the world is super big. I do regret a lot of things though. I think the one thing I would go back and change is probably work. This is kind of hypocritical, but I don't want to say work less, but if there's one thing I would change, I would like to focus more on my relationships with, like, my friends and things like that. How often in my life? Not too often, honestly, but I'm trying to be, like, I'm trying to be more alive now than I was before, but it's a process. Norway's different. I agree. Marco, but I'm just saying in general, though. Like, not just, like, my body weight. Body weight does affect how much you can, you know, lift and whatnot. But, like, you have to understand that, like, genetically speaking, my back is one of my weak points. That's the reason why I don't train too heavy when it comes to my back workouts. Because, like, my back gets worn out pretty quickly. That is my Achilles heel. Like, it's basically a genetic issue. So I try not to overdo my back when it comes to workouts. Excuse myself. But anyhow, though, questions, bring them in. Because that's why I'm live here today. I really just want to answer a bunch of questions. Huh. You gotta be more specific. What do you mean by what do you think matters most? A lot of things matter. Like, you gotta be more specific. You have to be more specific about that. But I will try to answer as many questions as I can here. There's a lot, honestly, that I really still got to address. Like, usually I would try to do like not like a poll, but like a community post, essentially. I would try once in a while, but not very many people comment on community posts nor interact with it. So I really don't want to, like, make a community post. So I'd rather just, you know, do what I can. Then how will you lift a girl with your weak back? That's funny. That's different. Like, that's really different. I can definitely lift a girl with my back. That is, I've done it before, I'll do it again. I even princess carried a woman before too. Sorry, as in, like, what would be something you need or life would be different? Like, what will be something you need or in life? I don't know. It depends. Everybody's different, Leo. I'm not really the... Everybody's priorities is different. For me personally, if there's one thing I think is important without a doubt, especially as an adult, is really maintaining relationships. With like, not like with a girlfriend or anything, but like with your family and people close to you. The one thing I truly neglected a lot that I kind of regret were the people close to me. Because I was so focused on chasing after my goals and dreams that although I did make time for my friends, my exes at the time, and things like that, I would be lying if I said I was always present. It was more like I just kept on chasing after my dreams and working to the point where like I basically neglected those relationships. And if I can go back in time, I would truly apologize. Because now as an adult, you don't have time for making relationships, you know? So, yeah, that would be the one thing I would truly fix. Do you take creatine? No, I do not. I do take protein powders though, but not creatine. Yeah, my face is looking much better after operation, but I'm still, like, I can still do better though. Creatine with that muscle mass, really, bro? Exactly. I don't take creatine at all. I just take protein shakes every now and then. Nah, son, you're on time. You're on time. I'm just answering questions right now. That's basically this whole live stream. It's just Q&A. Hello there, Royal. I hope you're doing well. Well, this whole live stream here is really just to answer questions and basically just chat with anyone that comes by. Because, like, I have a lot of new viewers, and a lot of you may have questions that you might want to ask or may be wondering. So if you have a question, I'll try my best to answer it. So by all means, feel free to ask any question you may have. And I will try to do live streams more often, but really I've just been busy right now doing my business taxes, running my business behind me, Laxo Legacy. And I'm thinking about starting a second business too, so. Ever watch or read the Long Gun Midnight series? No, I do not. I've heard about it here and there, but I haven't checked it out yet. The vibe is a W. The vibe is just me. I am just a normal person like everybody else. Creatine is more effective for women. You're funny. It depends on the person, honestly. Some people might respond better to creatine than others. But I am just here just to answer questions. And I think, okay, I'm going to answer this real quick. Yes, I am still single. Like, this is the question I get asked a lot. Yes, I am single, and yes, I am looking for a partner. But I don't know why people keep asking that. I've answered it on my community post, but I still keep getting asked this question, even through emails. It's very interesting, honestly. I was watching it now, so I got a notification. It's really good. Then I probably got to go check it out then, if it's that good. But seriously though, everybody, I am looking for a partner, but I just don't want to be like, I don't want to sound desperate, you know? So I'm really just taking my time, honestly, looking for a woman. And I think, and I do have a reason why I'm looking for a woman now, is really because it's getting to that time to where, like, I don't really have any personal issues I gotta sort out much anymore. That's the reason why I'm going back to therapy for one more session. Or maybe two more. I'm pretty sure this will be my last ever therapy session I'll ever have. Being single is calm. A lot of people say it's bad. I don't get it. It really depends on the person, Leo. Here's my hot take. I honestly think that a lot of people are not ready for relationships. I know that people say that for every person in the world, there's somebody for you and things like that. That could be true, but the one thing everyone needs to understand is that when you get into a relationship, whatever issues or personal problems you have, you can't hide it. Even if you do try to hide it from your partner, at some point it will be brought to life in front of you. And you're going to have to actually deal with those issues, whether it is a issue that you have or your partner have. And yes, your partner may be able to help you or manage those issues, but a lot of the times it really becomes more toxic later on. And it really is just not fair for the person in the relationship. So I really do think that, like, before you get into a relationship, I'm speaking from experience too, by the way. I think you need to overcome your trauma and overcome your personal issues, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical. Like I'm at a point where like I think I've overcame my trauma now. So I'm thinking about starting over again. That's the reason why I'm making my short film, by the way. I get a femboy brother. Well, I ain't gonna do that. Besides using your girl, bro. A lot of my audiences are so young. Youth, I'll tell you that. I'm just joking with you guys. But really though, this is the reason why I think it's a good time for me to start dating again. It's because I don't really have any big issues. Yes, I still have some things I gotta figure out, such as financial things and things like that, and trying to find a new place to live, to start over. But in terms of like the big personal issues I had or have, like, they're not that big anymore. These days you don't even know what it is. I'm not one to judge, Marco. So that is the reason why I've decided to start dating again. Oseen, what do you do for a living? So here's what I do for a living. I currently work at a grocery store part-time job. I own my business behind me, Laxo Legacy. That is a passive income of mine. And then I'm also basically a small part-time retired stage actor now that I do once in a long while now because I stepped back from it. I'm also a dance instructor. And then I do some online business stuff every now and then for like some small income cash. And that's basically what I do for a living as of now. I am currently thinking about starting a second business because I want to do another business. I don't know what it will be, but that's currently where I'm at right now. I'll say the grocery store part-time job is the one that is getting me the most money. But I would like to change that by trying to find another job to replace it. So, yeah. Leo, you gotta go. I will be live on Saturday, by the way. So that's the next time I'll be live. So, yeah, see ya, Leo, if you gotta go. But it's a strange feeling, honestly. A very strange feeling. A lot of you viewers may be new, but I am a guy who's been chasing for so long, and now he's basically done chasing because he's already achieved what he set out to. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and physically, it's completed. My goals, my dreams, and things like that. You will be famous one day. I don't have a desire to be famous because I really just want to mellow out at this point, you know? I just want to relax because, like, I made a promise and I've been chasing this promise for so long. But sometime in 2013, I think that promise completed. So I was kind of in like this midlife crisis. So I decided, there's a reason why I kind of had this thing in 2013, by the way. So I decided to make this to-do list before my 30s. But now in 2025, I just got to go to therapy one more time, just to confirm something. The only way to keep progressing is to keep setting the bar higher and higher. Son, I actually do understand where you're coming from, but I don't think you're in my position to understand that saying. Yes, you gotta set the bar higher and higher, but no matter how high you set that standard, you will always be a product of your time. Your time will come when you will have to step down. And trust me, I think one great example is my spider work. I am 24 years old. At the age of 18, I was so far ahead of everybody when it comes to my spider work that there were people who were 62 years old, 49 years old, and people in their 50s asking for a 19-year-old college student how to do this and that. Basically trying to learn from me as a student. Like you have to understand, I've been put in a position at a very young age to where a lot of people that are twice, if not 3 to 4 times my age, are asking for advice on how to do this or how to learn from me. You know? So I've been put in a position to where like you can't let these people down because I've basically became a standard in a way. If you don't believe me, I don't know how to tell you, man. Like, I literally have people in my contacts that are in their 50s with kids. I don't even have kids. I'm not even married. And they're asking for advice on how to do this for spider work. This doesn't just go for my spider work. This goes for dancing, stage acting, and sometimes even training, but mostly the other stuff. So, like, I don't have anything else to prove, if you understand where I'm coming from. Because you have to remember, I was basically a prodigy to some extent, but I don't really consider myself a prodigy. I was just a person who started young and just set off from there. People nowadays are afraid to start, but really, the earlier you start, the better the chances you give yourself to succeed. I know there's a saying that you have to wait for the right time, and I do agree with that, but while you're waiting for that time, you can be doing so much to improve on yourself. You know? So like, I see a lot of people who are 16 years old and are not really doing much with their lives. At 16, I was dancing for about 3 going on to 4 years now. I started stage acting, and I've already done spider work for about the same time as I was for dancing and studying, in terms of studying tarantula stuff. And then by the time I was 19, I was a fully acknowledged tarantula breeder, and not to mention, I was actually selling to other tarantula businesses on what I was producing. So, and by 19, I was already pretty much a successful competitive dancer. I was not a dance instructor yet, but I was a really good competitive dancer, quote unquote. And I was in stage acting. So you kind of see what I'm saying? If you start early, you're basically building your career before you're reaching adult. Can you search something on YouTube real quick? Probably not. I'll do it off stream, but not on stream though. Do you have advice for me? I'm 17. Well, you're 17, you're still young, but I always tell people this. Try to start turning your passions. Try to find a way to build a career. Like, literally. A lot of teens nowadays are waiting until they get into college or things like that to pursue a career, but don't do that. Start as soon as possible. You can literally just YouTube and Google how to do this to get a head start over everybody else. But really, for me, the one thing that really put me ahead of most people was that I was at the right place at the right time when the right people found me, because I was already doing something to put myself up for that career. And this is the thing everybody needs. The people say you need luck or skill. There is actually a third factor. Hear me out. There is a third factor that a lot of people cut out. This third factor is the one thing that can set you up for life. But you need both luck and skill to acquire it. You hear me? So if you want to be a YouTuber or a professional artist or something, hear me out. This third factor you really need to succeed in your careers as a person who's speaking from a long-term career. This third factor is called the RTAP factor. Basically, it stands for right time and place. You need this. How do you acquire the right time and place? You need skill and luck to acquire it. Because let's say you found somebody that can actually put you into a career path that can make you successful. If you do not acquire the skill that is necessary, and you try to ask, you want this person to help you, but you don't have the necessary skill, you basically lost your opportunity. But if you don't have, but you also need luck too, because luck is what makes you meet those people. So luckily for me, I was at the right time at the right place with the right skill. Like, everything has to align perfectly. But if you're not prepared, or if you do not have the right skill set, then you're basically throwing away your chances. Sometimes you have to make your opportunities for it to be successful. And other times, you just, like people don't understand. People keep telling me that you need luck to succeed. Yes, you do need luck, but you also need the skill to acquire that luck. Because I'll tell you, man, there's a lot of times I've met a lot of up-and-coming tarantula enthusiasts, or a lot of people that want to start tarantula businesses, or want to get into tarantula stuff, or dancing, or things like that, but they just don't have the right skill set, because it's too soon for that. Yes, I am the person that can actually jumpstart a lot of people's careers, but you need to acquire the right skill. So this is the reason why, while you're, you can do so much when you're young. So a lot of my viewers, which are you viewers that are watching now, are either 16, 20, or in the early 20s. If you have free time, start working on the careers you want to chase and develop that skill. You may not have the tools, but if you don't have the tools, then acquire the knowledge, which you can just Google right now. Excuse myself. Because for me, even though I'm 24 years old, I'm better. People would die to be in my position. Think about it. About 4,000 subs on YouTube, owning a business, working multiple jobs, multiple sources of income, things like that, while trying to find a girlfriend and is decent looking or something. I don't really care. A lot of people will want to be in my position, but is my position the best? No, but a lot of people want to be in it because they think it's easy. It's not. You have to put in the work. And like I stated, if you have the right skill set, and if you get lucky, that opportunity will come to you at the right time, at the right place, called RTAP. RTAP is what you need. But you need to have the necessary skill. Exactly, Marco. You just gotta keep on going. You just gotta keep on going. That is my advice. A lot of people, especially a lot of the younger generation nowadays, they give up too easily. This really kind of worries me in a way, because you've only been doing something for 3 years. That's just too short of a career. I'd say if you want to pursue something, give it a minimum of 5 to 7 years. And I'm not saying doing it on and off, because that's not consistent. Be consistent and do it for 5 to 7 years. If if results start showing, then that's a good thing. Because you have to remember, slow progress or little progress is better than no progress at all. You know? Some people, it will be quicker than others, without question. So to my viewers, if you're doing something and you feel like you're going nowhere, but you're slowly progressing and you're not stuck somewhere, then honestly, you're probably, it's not your time yet, but you will eventually get your chance at some point if you just keep on going. Like, but then again though, I'm not your boss or your parents or your guardian. It's up to you to decide whether to give up or keep on going. Like, I'm speaking this because you have to remember, I think one great, let's use another example of mine. I've been dancing for over 10 years now. I started off as a street performer. I'm a street dancer, then I became a street performer, then I became a competitive dancer, and then I became a dance instructor. This took over 10 years. 10 years, let me remind you that. The first 3.5 to 4 years, I was literally just dancing off the streets. And then for about 2 years, so we're 6 years into this career now, I was competing at dance competitions. And then it took about 1.5 years, so about 7.5 to 8 years, I finally started winning dance competitions. And then by 10 years, I was a dance instructor. So if you think about it, it took 10 years to prove out a career. So yes, it took a long time, but the point I'm getting with this is that everybody will go at a different pace. Don't compare yourself to others, because if you do that, you will get intimidated. I've seen some kids as young as 9 years old dance better than I do. You really just don't give up. If you're working hard and there's progress showing, whether it's very little, that's better than no progress. The question is whether you're willing to keep on going or not. If I were you, I would just keep on going. But if you want to give up, I don't really blame you, because there is a time factor as well. I will not lie. So it will take a long time to prove out sometimes. You know, I think another great example is stage acting. I started stage acting at 16, so very late, and it was pure accident. But by 18, I was doing some stage plays here and there, and then by 20, I was doing a few. The pandemic hit, lowered my chances, but I still kept on going, and yeah, it was not that bad, but I still kept on going though. It's up to you, man. I believe in you guys. But it's really... But back to what I'm saying, though. It's really sad to see a lot of people give up so quickly. And we're talking about less than 5 years. Because, put it into this perspective. You put 4 years into college to get a degree, to get your dream job. So for me, 5 years to chase after your dream... To chase after your dreams, quote unquote, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because, the equivalent of 4 to 5 years of chasing after your dreams is the same equivalent of spending 4 to 5 years in college. You know? But really, I'm not here to tell you that you're right or wrong, or whether I'm right or wrong. It's just that I don't want people to live with the what ifs. Like, what if I did succeed? Or what if I did keep on going? This is the reason why, I kept pushing myself. It's because I don't, I need things to be conclusive. If I do fail, I want to fail in a conclusive manner, or a conclusive way, to where I can have a good close off, a good closure. But please, though, to all of my viewers, if you want to do something in life, And if you're showing progress, whether it's a little bit or, whatnot, just keep on going. And if you do give up, please make sure that you given it your all before you decide to give up. And there is something I don't really agree with nowadays that people keep telling me. So this might be a bit contradictory. People tell me that you need to work smarter, not harder. I disagree with that, and I disagree with the other way around. Nowadays, everything is too competitive. You need to work harder and smarter. And I know that this isn't for some people, but it's just from my experience though. As a guy who's been working 10 years into a career, you're going to have to work harder and smarter. You can't just do one or the other at this point. Because like every single thing you want to do in this world is too saturated. It's too competitive. And once you get to my position, like you will start to understand though. Because like when I was building my career, this is funny, I never considered it a career. It was more so of me just trying to prove myself. And it wasn't really until I look back on my life that I've noticed just how many people were chasing after me. Just trying to either catch up with me or surpass me. But once you're locked into a career, you just don't care about the people in front of you or behind you. Because you just want to better yourself. Like that's the thing that I finally recognized was that like when you're pursuing a career, these other people, like they do matter sometimes, but at the same time, you're too focused on yourself to actually focus on others in a way. It's a strange feeling. I don't know how to describe it because I'm describing it wrong, by the way. But this is something you just have to go through and experience to understand. Because I promise you, like, it was not until like 8 years into my dance career that I finally looked back on it and just recognized how much people have been chasing me. And it wasn't until about 7.5 years for my Tarantula work to recognize that there were people 3 times my age chasing after behind me. It is a surprising world, man. So don't give up from anime. I want to tell you something really funny, guys. And Marco, you brought it up. I'm going to tell you right now. Anime was not my inspiration to keep on going. I want to say this again, and I'll say it again to the day I die. Anime was not an inspiration for me to keep going and chasing after my dreams. As a matter of fact, I used anime as an escapism from the real world. And I did that for about 2.5 years of my life. Don't hate me for saying that, but that was the pure truth. Because I don't know how to explain it. Anime is good escapism, but you are the main character to your story. Every single day, a page of your story will turn. And it's really up to you to write down what you did that day. So like, I utilized every single page of my life up to this point. Like, I didn't waste a day. Oh, I rarely waste any days. As long as I did one productive thing, I was satisfied. Because I knew that it was like a one step into another, like one step into progression. But that is the truth though, guys. Anime was not an inspiration for me to keep on going. Do not hate me for that, but it is just the pure truth. And I have a reason too. And the reason why was because as a very young kid, I always wanted to go like, you know how anime, everybody goes into like this overpowered beast mode or something? I've always wanted to go into a beast mode, but you just look like an idiot. So really, you have to save yourself. You know? Anime can inspire people, but it's really you that is the main character of your story. That's the reason why I went out and I did the work. Dang, Marco, karate for 13 years. That's crazy. But hey, that's why I'm here on this live stream today. I'm here to answer people's questions or things like that. It doesn't have to be about anime. It can be about anything in general. If you have a question, by all means, please feel free to leave it in the chat and I'll answer your questions. There's a lot about me that, people barely scratch the surface of. But I don't want to say I'm a regular person, but I am somebody who's just been doing things for a very long time. And I am thinking about starting a life over again. And I would like to find a girlfriend too, but I'm getting there, everybody. I cannot wait to move out though. So my 3 goals for this year is 1, move out, 2, get a voice acting role and start voice acting, and 3, get a girlfriend. And maybe get a new job too, who knows. And I do want to start another business. Those are some of my goals. People are always wondering, like, am I lazy? Yes, I'm lazy too some days, but you also have to understand that, like, I've worked hard enough to where, like, sometimes the passive things I do works for itself. So, like, my Tarantula business behind me, it's a passive income. I don't have to do my Tarantula business behind me. But since I do it as like a hobby and as a business, it pays for itself. So I don't I don't really have to work as hard as some things, but I still do have to work as well, And I am trying to figure out what is my second business I want to start. So any recommendations is truly appreciated. I appreciate everybody who is, here. I don't take anybody for granted, by the way, nor do I force people to watch my live streams. If you gotta go, you gotta go, But voice acting is one of my future goals, though. I'm super proud of my voice acting videos, believe it or not, even the older ones, because it's a stepping point on getting to where I want to be. So I just want to say thank you. Minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. Like, really. So I'm not getting off just yet because I still do want to answer a bunch of more questions if I can. It's very interesting, honestly, up to this point. But that's life for you, though. I will say that I am more accomplished than most people nowadays, I guess, which is kind of a strange thing to say. Because usually people wait until the late teens or the early 20s to start chasing after their careers. But for me, I started very young. So I don't really have much to prove. Sorry, Kumo. No, it's fine. It's fine, everybody. But yeah, though, I'm at a strange point in my life to where, like, since I started so young, and now that I'm basically approaching my mid-20s, I feel like I've already, like, I'm retiring in a way, to some strange extent. And I don't know why I feel that way. It's maybe because I've been chasing my careers and my promises for so long, and the moment I completed it, I don't want to say empty, but I feel like it's time to start anew. People keep asking me, and I will answer this question, when will I stop the push-ups? And I always tell myself, there are 2 ways I will stop the push-ups, the daily push-ups. One is if I move out to a happier place where I want to be, or 2 is the day I get married. Those will be the last days that I'm going to stop doing the push-ups. But we are very far from that. So the push-ups will keep on going, everybody, for those who are wondering. And it's a very strange thing to say. I do have some things planned out, but not everything about my future careers. But I also want people to understand that I am just me. I don't put on no persona or things like that. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers go, "What is up, guys? How's it going?" But for me personally, I'm just I'm a really normal person, like everybody else. It's just that I happen to have started early to where, I guess people say I'm talented, I guess, or gifted. But really, I think everybody is gifted in something, in some form or way or fashion. You just kind of need to figure it out or work on it until it becomes that gift, you know? So yeah, if you gotta go, everybody. I don't force anybody to watch my live streams, by the way, because I don't, like, it's not an entitlement to watch my live streams. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. I said this on all of my live streams, and even now, I still say that no one is forced to watch a stream of mine or my videos, because I don't I don't really have any goals of becoming a full-time YouTuber. If YouTube works, then I'm just thankful for this position that I am. But I don't want to force YouTube as a career, because then it becomes more like I'm trying to force YouTube as a living. But if I do that, I think I will lose the genuine feeling of just enjoying myself and making content on this channel. So another stream about this all. It's all about dedication to self-person. I agree, son. I agree. But please, though, for anybody who is watching this for the first time, or anybody who's new to my channel, I do not have any goals of becoming a big-time YouTuber. I have been creating content since 2016. But this channel was created in 2021. My old channels are no more. One of my older channels, my Laxo channel, was created in 2017. That's where I do my spider work, my YouTube spider work channel that I use for my business behind me, Laxo Legacy. That's probably the oldest channel I have now, but my first channel is deleted. However, I still do have the first video, and I will keep this promise. If I ever hit 1 million subscribers on any one of my channels, I will actually post my first ever online internet video at 1 million subscribers. I've said this before 2 years ago now, and I will keep that promise. So for anyone who's watching, you'll be surprised about what my first video was on the internet. I still do have it, and I will save that until 1 million subs. And it's kind of funny, because it's like watching a ghost of yourself. Hello there, Lucas. Hello there, Hossein. Welcome to my live stream. This live stream here today is really just to do Q&As, I guess. I'm basically here on this live stream today to answer people's questions and basically just to talk, because a lot of people are new to my channel. So I am here to actually answer your questions that you may have about me, because yeah, new viewers, right? But as I stated before, I will keep that promise. At 1 million subs on any one of my channels, I will post my first ever YouTube video. That was recorded when I was 16 years old in 2016. What country am I from? I am from the United States. I was born and raised here in the United States. And yeah, I hope that answers your question. My ethnicities, that's up in theirs. I will not tell you what my ethnicity is. I have studied 5 languages, by the way, for those who are wondering. So, you'll never figure out my ethnicities, quote unquote. But son, thanks for getting me to 1 million. Well, I don't think we'll ever hit 1 million subscribers, because I say that as a joke, honestly. But if it ever does happen, I'm truly thankful. Because, like, I don't see myself as a YouTuber. I'm just a regular guy on the internet that people just happen to have found me. But I really just want to help out people too while I can, because a lot of my viewers here are relatively young, and some of them may be at a point where they're struggling at an exam to get into a university. Some of them just don't know what they want to do in life. Or some people are probably in their early 20s, you know, just trying to figure out what direction they want to do. So maybe, like, I don't believe that everybody you'll meet in life will stay in your life. I believe that people will come and go, but I do believe that everybody you'll meet will in some way or fashion help you or push you into some direction where you need to be in life, whether it's good or bad. And I don't know if I'm that good person or that bad person in your life, but all the good people and bad people I've met in my life have had or has pushed me in some way or fashion into where I am now. And I don't think all bad people are bad people. Sometimes the bad people lead you down a bad path for you to come back stronger. It's a very strange experience, I'll say that for sure. But I've been through a lot, like in my life. It's crazy, honestly. So I just want people to understand that. A lot of my viewers are young, but when you're young, you have a lot of free time. But at times, you do question yourself as well about what I want to do. Am I doing things right? And really, you should believe in yourself a bit more. I don't have all of your answers, but I believe that if you believe in yourself and you keep on going, whether through the mistakes or through the corrections or things you did right, you'll eventually be somewhere. You just kind of have to keep on going. I know what it feels like when life stops, and sometimes it's very intimidating. At times, it can even be discouraging. The progress you want, the progress you seek, stops coming in. The validation disappears. The disappointment comes in. But if you just keep on going, I'm sure something will work out. Life is pretty bad at times, even for me actually. You can go back to some of my older videos to where I was not feeling so well. Sometimes it's physically, whether I got a torn ankle, an injury. Sometimes it's emotionally, whether I was going through a breakup or family issues. Or sometimes it's a mental issue where past trauma haunts me. But even then, I still kept on going. And I still do have 1 or 2 more therapy sessions to go through before I can finally conclude this portion of my life. I am not throwing away my things, but I'm still gonna keep on going. Have you seen Hajime no Ippo, my favorite anime right now? Yes, I have watched Hajime no Ippo. I'm not caught up in it because there's a lot of chapters, but Hajime no Ippo is a classic in terms of boxing anime. Really good series, by the way. And I don't know where everybody's at right now, but I do hope that everybody does keep on going. I am just a regular guy. Really. I'm not anything special. I am just somebody that you just happen to have found on YouTube. Whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. So the bowls behind me are basically all spiders. I own my tarantula business that works with selling, breeding, and keeping tarantulas in captivity. My business is called Laxo Legacy LLC. And yes, I'm the owner of my business behind me, and I sell tarantulas as a passive income. I am in the process of looking to start my second business pretty soon. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what my second business will be as an entrepreneur will be, but I hope that it will be another passive income as well. Last year high school, yeah, it's good. Have you watched Sakamoto Days? It's pretty good. Sakamoto Days is an amazing series. It's a fun weekly chill vibe series. It gives me the same feeling as Spy Family. Really just a series you can sit back, relax, and just watch with your friends. Really love those animes. Those are the animes I really feel at peace to when I watch. I can just sit and enjoy the series and not have to overthink. Amazing series, by the way. But it's a pretty interesting life I live. And I think yours will be more interesting than mine for those who are watching this live stream. You don't have to watch my live stream, but at least feel free to listen, I guess. Or if you gotta go, you gotta go. I have screwed up a lot of things in life. I will not lie. While I have pursued a lot of my careers, and while I have had some success, or really good success in those careers, the one thing I would go back and fix for those who have asked that question It's basically my relationships with my friends and those close to me. As you grow older, one thing you don't recognize is that you will focus too much of your time with work and trying to get by paying bills and make a living, to where your relationships with your friends and those close around you may become a bit strained. But you have to find a way to balance that time between work and making a living for yourself and those with relationships and friends and family and the people you care about. The big mistake I made in my youth when I was around 17, 18, 19, or 20 years old was that I put so much emphasis on chasing and improving my careers when it came to dancing, stage acting, my spider work, and basically college as well, that I basically put the people I care about on the side. Yes, I did make time for those relationships, whether it was my ex-girlfriends or things like that. But I will not lie and say that I kind of regretted not putting more care into those relationships. Because now, as an adult at 24, I don't have the free time and leisure as I did to hang out with friends, family, or those close to me. I am very lonely. I am an introvert at heart. But I hope that one day I'll be able to find a relationship, whether it's a girlfriend or something, or find some sort of closure to my loneliness. I don't know my viewers, and you viewers don't know me. I don't want to encourage an unhealthy parasocial relationship, but I just want people to cherish those close around them. Because when you're younger, you have way more free time than you think. As an adult, dating will be much more difficult. And I'm speaking as an adult here, speaking to you, my viewers. One thing I didn't think about until recently when I started dating again was that I have to focus on work now. And because of that, I don't have time to go out and meet people as I used to. Because now I have bills to pay, things to worry about, such as taxes, and just trying to make a living getting by, to where I had to dedicate time to work and not time to actually try to focus and find a partner. It is very strange. Because when you're younger, you think you have all the free time in the world. You know, you look back and you recognize that every single time you hung out with a friend, you ate with your family, it was really something you shouldn't have taken for granted. This is why even though I did have a successful career, I am without a doubt lonely. Sometimes it does affect me in strange ways. I do not consider my coworkers or my work buddies or my colleagues as friends. I want people to understand. Sometimes your coworkers can be your friends, but for the most part, your coworkers is just people you meet at work. Good night, Pigeon. And if you gotta go, you gotta go. So I really just want to talk about my loneliness and basically one of my biggest regrets. Was it worth it? A lot of people that meet me, or a lot of people that know about me and my careers that I have been pursuing for such a long time, people will tell me that my career is a success. Yes, it was a good success, but I really want people to understand too that the cost or the price I had to pay was straining my relationships. Now that as an adult, I finally found some sort of balance between my personal life and work. But in terms of trying to date again, it has not been easy. A lot of women I've met, although we may have interest, there is just some things that make it difficult. One is that we're both working adults, to where sometimes the partner or the date that I meet, they don't have as much free time as like how I was from back then, neglecting the people close to me. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurt, Because as an adult, you really just want somebody to talk to, especially when you're lonely. And as a lonely operating adult. But I just want to find somebody to talk to. And it's pretty it hurts kind of. I'm not gonna lie. You think that dating is easier as you get older? It is not. Because this is the reason why I mentioned this earlier on stream. Dating is not for everybody, or getting into a relationship. Everybody you'll meet will have some sort of issue or problem with themselves or with something around them. And your job is to find the partner that suits you. Everybody will use the reference, life is like a box of chocolates. But this is not the way to look at a relationship. Yes, it is a way to look at people when you meet them for the first time. But when you're getting into a relationship, especially as a young adult like I am, you have to understand that the real quote is that life is a puzzle. You will have pieces that you have and pieces that you don't have. And every single partner you meet, or every single person you meet as a future partner or friend, will have puzzle pieces that you will need, have, or don't have. And every time you meet with those new people, you will exchange pieces. And no matter how much pieces you will exchange, those people, whether it's a future partner or a friend or someone in the liking, may not have all your pieces, but you have to be content with whatever pieces you're looking for or pieces you need or want. And I have gotten much wiser when it comes to dating because I've been through it all at this point. A lot of people don't know this, but I have been stabbed by somebody before that wanted to date me. I've been cheated on. I've been dumped because of my financial situation. I've been through pretty much all of it. I've even got turned down before at our proposal. I've been through it all. It's pretty heartbreaking, but I'm still looking for that one person. If there's one thing I would like to fix on those relationships, I wish I could have communicated more. Communication is such a key factor when it comes to maintaining a relationship, not just with people you may love, but friends, family, it's really that important. I just wish I cherished it more. But now, as a working adult, I finally found the balance. I finally am starting to find balance between work life, on getting by, and staying in a relationship. Or finding time for a relationship. And hello there, Ice Cat. But to you, the younger generation, I just want you to learn from my mistakes. I am not perfect. A lot of people look up to me. But I am just a normal person like everybody else. I've been through a lot. And I'm finally overcoming that trauma. I'm not going to cry, so don't worry. But I'm just here speaking to you as somebody who's learned from their mistakes. I hope that someday I will find my special someone. But it has not been easy. I've been through a couple, if not a few dates already, with different partners. But the partner I'm looking for has yet to be found. I do not care about looks anymore. I really don't. I am no longer 12 or 16 or 18 for that matter. I really don't care about looks. I am looking for a partner that has the pieces I need to my puzzle. And I hope that I have the right pieces for their puzzle as well. It's pretty strange. I don't care if you're poor, rich, ugly, pretty, overweight, underweight. I'm just looking for somebody that has the pieces I need. Yes, I could be dating right now. Maybe I could have been in a relationship. I went on a date just recently. I said, we're better off as friends. I'm talking to you, my viewers, because I'm still single and I'm still learning. Everybody keeps looking up to me, but it's pretty scary. You know, when I was 18 years old, this is the age that I start to recognize that, yep, people are looking at me now. At 18 years old, I was approached by a man and his wife in their 40s asking about how do I work with spiders. At first, I thought it was a huge flex. I thought I was the king of it all. But as time went on, more and more people started to look up to me. The pressure kept building on to where I couldn't breathe as I used to. Up until that point, I've always focused on myself and my craft. I never focused on the people chasing after me or looking up to me. This is the reason why I decided to become a dance instructor, basically a senior stage actor, or a senpai to my stage actors, my stage colleagues, and why I decided to start Laxo Legacy. It's because my goal was to help the future generations. Even now, I'm still a dance instructor because I'm teaching the younger generation. And although I did step back from stage acting as a career, I am helping and teaching some newer stage actors. In terms of my spider work, I am teaching new tarantula breeders every single day. You do not need to watch this vlog. You just need to listen. Anybody is good at listening, but very few people will understand the things they're listening to. If you're listening to this, I hope that one day you'll understand. I am a flawed human being. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I'm learning as I go. Some decisions was good, some were very bad, but more will come, both good and bad. I am prepared, and I'm hoping that once my short film comes out, you will understand why I pursue my careers as a promise. You'll understand I'm just a flawed human being. This vlog is a life story. This live stream is not for entertainment. It's more of a man speaking from his life. I've learned from everybody. Rich, homeless, different countries. I did the work. I put in the work. More work than most people would at a young age. At the age of 12 to 13 years old, I became a dancer. By the time I was 20 years old, I was a fully acknowledged dancer. It took a very long time, 8 years almost. Spider work. Although I own my tarantula business behind me, Laxo Legacy LLC, for those who are wondering what all those containers are, the spider work took me over 10 years to accomplish. When it comes to stage acting, and even working out, those two go hand in hand along with dance instructing to staying in shape. I have been doing stage acting and working out for over 9 years. I started at 15, 16 to some extent. I'm now 24. I've done it all. I don't have anything left to prove. I'm guessing I'm just saying this because this is just my story. I don't know how people's stories are, but it seems like the youth nowadays are very lost. And I hope that one day everybody will find their footing. Whether you live somewhere where you're wealthy, poor, struggling, if you want something, how far will you go to go get it? I always question that. I know how much I will do, but I don't know how much other people would do. It worries me. That's the reason why I stayed behind. Why I decided to become an instructor. Very strange, isn't it? I could have continued onward, but I stayed behind. I stayed behind because I don't like leaving people behind. People think they're lost. Sometimes you may be lost. As a matter of fact, when I was going through my trauma as a kid, and even before the child services came in to help me out with the trauma, you know, the one thing I learned was that sometimes you just kind of had to keep on going. I was a big coward. People think I'm strong or I'm dedicated, but in reality, I was just a scarred child. I was a big coward. I ran away from home a lot as a kid. It was very intimidating. I've seen what a monster is before. And as a kid, monsters are very scary. There's a special hiding place that I used to go to when I was a kid. In the woods. I remember I used to sit there for hours. Sometimes even 8 to 9 hours. I would sit there. Yeah, I sat there from morning to night because I didn't really have anywhere else to go. But when it was nighttime, I went home. Trauma can put you in different places, but it set minds up for life to where it made me successful, but also very lonely. But now you know why I'm disciplined. It's because of fear of disappointing myself. So I made a promise to my younger self, and I've kept that promise for over 12 years. That promise has now been fulfilled. So to that little kid, I've kept your promise, and I hope that you can rest easy. Because I've grown up to being an adult that you'll definitely like. So now, it's been a while since I last seen you in my dreams. I remember you used to haunt me, but you're no longer there. So I'm going back to therapy for 1 or 2 more sessions to confirm something. But I think this confirmation proves that I've kept my promise to you, kid. That kid and I were the same person, but I don't view you as me. I just wish I was strong enough to save you, kid. But I'm glad. But anyhow, though, I'm thinking about starting a new chapter in my life because I don't have anything left to prove. It's funny. Trauma. Pain does not go away, for sure, as somebody who has experienced it. But it does become bearable. But kid, to me in the past, I've kept all of your promises that I kept for you. So, it kind of hurts. I'm not saying goodbye to you, kid. But I want to bring you with me. So, yeah. If you're wondering why I'm talented, why I work so hard, is because I kept a promise to you, kid. I promised you that I'll grow up to be the adult you wanted to be. And every single day, I think about you. You're me, but you're not me. You weren't strong. You weren't dedicated. You weren't talented. Nor were you gifted. You were just traumatized. So I made that promise to you to become the things you always wanted to be. I wish I could see you again in my dreams. But it's been about a year now. Over a year since I last seen you. I know that to all my viewers, my story doesn't really make sense. But to me, it feels like it was yesterday. Trauma is really not great. But it helped me get to where I needed to be, or where I wanted to be. So to you, kid, I know I will never see you again, most likely in my dreams. But I am going to start a new life. And I'm taking you with me. So, yeah, new beginning. And don't worry, everybody. You viewers will understand someday. Once I post that short film, that is. But it's just kind of hard to talk about it on a stream because it's confusing. But if you're wondering why I'm talented, why I work so hard, is because of that. A promise. I take promises very, very, very personally. But stay tuned, everybody. I'm still making that short commentary film. And once I post it, I think I'm going to start a new chapter or a new book in my life. Not quitting the push-ups, not quitting what I'm doing now. Everything will still be normal. But for my personal life, I'm ready. I just need to go to one more therapy session just to confirm. Because if it is what I speculate, I'm probably going to cry in relief. Like, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Because I'm sure this feeling is true. But as always, everybody, thanks for watching. And, yeah. I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you when I'm streaming again on Saturday. And I will post that video, the short commentary film soon, whenever I complete it, of my backstory. Or a memoir of my life, to be exact. And, yeah. Thank you.